Such is the subtle styling evolution, you may be hard-pressed to tell this is the latest generation Audi A4 Avant, but fresh from the ground up it is. The recipe is as it's always been: take the Audi A4 saloon, add a significant degree of practicality with an estate car rear end, albeit one with a rakish silhouette, and the Avant is born. Battling its natural rivals in the forms of the BMW 3 Series Touring, Mercedes-Benz C-Class Estate and Volvo V60, the latest A4 Avant also faces a challenge from well-appointed versions of more mainstream wagons such as the Ford Mondeo Estate and Volkswagen Passat Estate. We ran one as a long-termer, read more here: more efficient engines with a powertrain lineup that's up to 25% more efficient than its predecessor. The Audi A4 Avant is bound to appear upon the radar of company car drivers, particularly with CO2 emissions as low as 104 grams/km. That boast belongs to the 150 horsepower 2.0-litre TDI Ultra, despite the official average economy claim of 70.6 miles per gallon. A4 Avants equipped with this engine will complete the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in under 10 seconds. It's only one of a handful of petrol and diesel powerplants on offer too. There's a 190 horsepower edition of the 2.0-litre TDI, while a V6 3.0-litre version is available in 218 horsepower and 272 horsepower outputs. For those who prefer petrol power, there's a trio of choices: a 1.4-litre TSI producing 150 horsepower, while the 2.0-litre TFSI comes in 190 bhp and 252 horsepower forms. At up to 144 grams/km, the latter is the least clean of the 7 engines. Topping the range from summer 2016, the latest S4 Avant features a 3.0-litre turbocharged V6 petrol engine, producing 354 horsepower. That's enough to propel it from 0 to 62 miles per hour in under 5 seconds. Depending upon the engine and whether the A4 Avant's front-wheel drive or a quattro with power sent to all 4 wheels, 3 transmissions are also available. Most feature a 6-speed manual gearbox as standard, but 2 automatic alternatives exist: a 7-speed dual-clutch S-tronic and an 8-speed Tiptronic. 4 well-equipped trim levels following the same trim level hierarchy as other models in the range. The Audi A4 Avant is available in SE, Sport, S-Line and S4 specifications. All are generously appointed. Even the SE comes with xenon headlamps, LED day running lights, 17-inch alloy wheels and a 7-inch infotainment screen with accompanying multimedia interface, MMI, rotary controller. Choose the Sport for sat-nav, LED interior lighting and sporty design cues inside and out, while the S-Line comes with full LED exterior lighting and 20mm lowered suspension among its highlights. Plump for the flagship S4 and you'll spot more aggressive bumpers, grey exterior accents, a rear diffuser and an uprated interior with darker fixtures and fittings. There's a wealth of extra cost options to peruse too, including adaptive suspension, the virtual cockpit digital instrument display as showcased on the Audi TT, and a sophisticated adaptive cruise control that monitors speed limits and automatically adjusts itself accordingly. High-quality ambience everywhere you look in or around the Audi A4 Avant. It reeks of quality, the materials alone setting a new benchmark in the premium compact estate class. Its light, airy interior, with the low-set dashboard shared with the A4 saloon, feels impeccably assembled and interestingly detailed with its full-width air vent and high-quality central infotainment screen, although it doesn't glide back into the dashboard when not required as on the Audi A6 Avant. There's an electric operation for not just the tailgate but also the luggage cover, which rises up out of the way to permit unobstructed access to the enlarged 505-litre cargo bay, itself increased to 1,510 litres when the split rear seat backs are tumbled forwards. Available to order from November 2015, first deliveries of the Audi A4 Avant were in January 2016. Top-end RS4 performance version debuted at the 2017 Frankfurt Motor Show. The RS4 Avant takes its place as the top-of-the-range performance version in the range. Boasting 450 horsepower and 600 Nm of torque from a 2.9-litre turbocharged V6 engine, the RS4 Avant is capable of accelerating from 0 to 62 miles per hour in a claimed 4.1 seconds with a limited top speed of 155 miles per hour as standard. The RS4 Avant sits 7 mm lower than the standard A4 with sport suspension and also benefits from permanent quattro all-wheel drive and an 8-speed Tiptronic automatic gearbox. Dynamic Ride Control, DRC, otherwise known as adaptive suspension, and ceramic brakes are both optional extras. All cars feature a beefed-up bodykit, including 19-inch alloy wheels, a roof spoiler and twin oval tailpipes, plus a full leather interior, flat-bottomed steering wheel and RS badges adorning the interior. Priced from £61,625, the RS4 Avon is due to go on sale in September 2017. 4 diesels and 4 petrols, all turbocharged. Most efficient TDI model emits just 104 grams/km of CO2. Trio of gearbox options to consider whether you choose a petrol or diesel powerplant. Every engine is turbocharged, ensuring strong Audi A4 Avon performance in spite of efficiency improvements over its predecessor. Quartet of diesels. The cheapest diesel entry model is also the most efficient offering in the A4 Avon lineup, but that doesn't mean performance has been compromised. With 150 horsepower and 320 Nm of torque from a lowly 1,500 revolutions per minute, the 2.0 TDI Ultra can reach 130 miles per hour and complete the 0 to 62 miles per hour sprint in 9.2 seconds. Yet Audi still claims 70.6 miles per gallon and CO2 emissions of just 104 grams/km. Those figures relate to the standard 6-speed manual, but opt for the 7-speed S-tronic automatic for a 9-second 0 to 62 miles per hour time and identical efficiency figures. Opt for the 190 horsepower version of the 2.0 TDI Ultra engine with 400 Nm of torque from a slightly higher 1,750 revolutions per minute, and, while the top speed remains the same, the sprint from standstill to 62 miles per hour drops to 7.9 seconds for both the manual and S-tronic automatic versions. Need the security of 4-wheel drive? Then the 190 horsepower edition with S-tronic is also available in quattro guise, with the 0 to 62 miles per hour time dropping to 7.4 seconds. Efficiency tumbles 2 to 62.8 miles per gallon and 116 grams/km of CO2 compared with the front drive's 68.9 miles per gallon and 106 grams/km claims. Efficient 6-cylinder diesel. Audi claims the 3.0 TDI with 218 horsepower is the most efficient 6-cylinder engine available, and it's installed in the A4 Avon in both front-wheel drive and quattro 4-wheel drive formats. There's 400 Nm of torque from an ultra-low 1,250 revolutions per minute. Top speed is electronically limited to 155 miles per hour, but the extra traction of the quattro gives it a 6.4 second 0 to 62 miles per hour time compared with 6.7 seconds for the front drive version, although the latter still claims a 64.2 miles per gallon average and 114 grams/km CO2 emissions. Topping the diesel range is a 272 horsepower edition of the V6 TDI, complete with a Tiptronic 8-speed automatic and quattro drivetrain. With an enormous 600 Nm of torque available from 1,500 revolutions per minute, the 0 to 62 miles per hour time is slashed to 5.4 seconds. Top speed remains governed at 155 miles per hour. Audi claims this A4 Avon will still average 53.3 miles per gallon with CO2 emissions of just 139 grams/km. 3 mainstream petrol choices at the lower end of the range. A 1.4 TFSI petrol with 150 horsepower is the starting point. From 1,500 revolutions per minute there is 250 Nm of torque available, enough to allow it to sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 9 seconds and onto a top speed of 130 miles per hour. 6-speed manual and 7-speed S-tronic automatic versions of the 190 horsepower 2.0 TFSI are offered, both with 320 Nm of torque available from just 1,450 revolutions per minute, unusually low for a petrol engine. Both will reach 146 miles per hour and complete the 0 to 62 miles per hour test in 7.5 seconds, but the automatic's the more efficient of the two, 53.3 miles per gallon and 121 grams/km compared with the manual's 50.4 miles per gallon and 129 grams/km. Quotes: upgraded to 252 horsepower and 370 Nm of torque at 1,600 revolutions per minute is the more powerful 2.0 TFSI with S-tronic box and quattro. Top speed is governed to 155 miles per hour while 62 miles per hour is reached from a standstill in 6 seconds. Sporty S4 Avon packs turbocharged 3.0 litre. It won't remain the quickest A4 in the estate range, but for now the S4 Avon tops the bill courtesy of 354 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque from 1,370 revolutions per minute, courtesy of its turbocharged 3.0-litre V6 petrol engine. Top speed is again electronically restricted to 155 miles per hour but at 4.9 seconds for the 0 to 62 miles per hour blast. This is the quickest accelerating S4 Avon yet. Middle. 4 diesels and 4 petrols, all turbocharged. Improved steering feel over previous model. Drive select allows different parameters to be chosen. Adaptive suspension a welcome option. A couple of the criticisms leveled at previous generations of the Audi A4 Avon related to its lackluster handling and inert steering. Pleasingly, this is no longer the case. While the steering may lack the ultimate finesse of the BMW 3 Series Touring, it represents a huge improvement over the previous A4 Avon. You can adjust the weighting of the wheel via the Drive Select feature, but we found comfort to be the ideal setting across a variety of road conditions. Not only that, it's more communicative too, allowing the driver to feel more confident pushing the Audi through corners. When you do tackle a bend at significant speed, you'll appreciate how little the A4 Avon rolls through corners, making it enjoyable to drive at pace, particularly with the added grip of quattro versions, but it's not as enthralling as its BMW rival. Adjustable driving modes. As with its saloon counterpart, the latest Audi A4 Avon comes with Drive Select as standard, allowing you to vary parameters such as steering weight, accelerator responsiveness and automatic gear change patterns between comfort, auto, efficiency, dynamic and individual, a customizable setting. All the A4 Avons we've tested so far have been fitted with adaptive suspension, the stiffness of which is also altered via Drive Select. Particularly in comfort mode, they deliver a suppleness not normally associated with firmly sprung Audis, yet it remains controlled, not feeling like it wants to pitch or wallow as you change direction at speed. There's an obvious increase in the firmness when you switch to dynamic, but it's not so harsh that your passengers will complain. S4 Avon delivers more sportiness. Uprating the performance of the Audi S4 Avon wasn't enough. The firm's made strides to ensure it's more satisfying to drive, with a reasonably successful outcome. Not only does it feature quattro four-wheel drive, the suspension sits 23 mm lower than it does on lesser A4 Avons. That minimizes body roll when cornering, an aspect further enhanced by the Audi's torque vectoring system, which subtly breaks the inside wheels through bends, encouraging the car to maintain a tighter line in corners. In an attempt to sate enthusiastic drivers further, 60% of the S4 Avon's power is sent to the rear wheels, rather than split equally with the front pair. There's a little more willingness from the Audi to let its tail slide, particularly with the traction control switched off, but specifying the optional sports differential enhances the handling further. High-quality interior bests rivals airy design but breaks little new ground. Wealth of onboard technology available, such as the level of quality of both materials and build of the Audi A4 Avon's interior, that its rivals are going to have a headache. It may break little new ground stylistically, but that aside, it's outstanding. You'll spot familiar themes. There's the full-width air vent that mimics that on the Audi Q7 and Volkswagen Passat, albeit with a contoured profile in the A4 Avon. Plus there's the optional virtual cockpit replacing the traditional analog dials. That 12.3-inch LCD display is configurable, allowing you to relay sat-nav and driving mode information easily, but whether it's worth the extra outlay is debatable, particularly if you've already opted for the excellent head-up display system. Everywhere in the Audi A4 Avon's cabin that your fingers caress, you'll be impressed by the tactile qualities, from the squidgy soft touch plastics to the exquisitely damped switchgear. Determining a comfortable driving position is easy too, with full adjustment of both the seat and steering wheel. Superb ride comfort, particularly with adaptive suspension, optional double glazing and excellent aerodynamics. Reduced noise, increase in interior space over previous A4 Avon. Optional adaptive suspension is central to Audi A4 Avon comfort, superbly isolating drivers and passengers from the road's imperfections, yet does so in a controlled manner to the benefit of agility as and when you need it. There's an aura of serene calm about the latest A4 Avon that makes you feel cocooned from the outside world without any of the echoing cabin noises many still tend to associate with estate cars. The seats are comfortable yet very supportive, benefiting from the increased space on offer to front and rear seat occupants. 3 adults may still feel squeezed sat abreast the rear bench, though. Audi's worked hard to improve the A4 Avon's aerodynamics, claiming a figure as low as CD 0.26, which has benefits for fuel efficiency as well as reducing wind noise. If you're willing to spend even more money, Audi will fit double glazing to the front side windows, too. Whether you opt for petrol or diesel powerplants, you'll appreciate their hushed tones when cruising, their raughtiness only becoming apparent when you're driving with greater verve. For equipment levels, say, Sport, S-Line and S4 generously appointed lineup plethora of expensive options available from its November 2015 debut on the British market. The A4 Avant came in three familiar Audi trim levels of, say, Sport and S-Line, with the high-performance S4 joining the lineup in summer 2016. Standard Audi A4 Avant equipment, even though it's the least expensive trim in the A4 Avant hierarchy, say certainly doesn't feel remotely bargain basement. Its equipment roster includes xenon headlamps with LED day running lights, 17-inch 10-spoke alloy wheels, aluminium roof rails, rear parking sensors, keyless entry and start, and an electric tailgate. Inside the SE also comes with 3-zone climate control for the aircon, drive select, cruise control and multimedia interface, MMI, Radio Plus, complete with a 7-inch monitor and smartphone integration. Progress to the Sport, expected to account for half of all A4 Avants, and in addition to the SE specification are a number of features to enhance the Audi's, well, sportiness. There's a subtle body kit, complemented by 17-inch 5-spoke Y-design alloys and a matte grey grille with chrome accents. Climb aboard and you'll spot the integrated sat-nav, sport front seats, a 3-spoke multifunction steering wheel and an upgraded sound system. Next is S-Line, the exterior of which is further distinguished with a more overtly styled body kit, chrome exhaust finishes, LED lights front and rear, 18-inch 5-spoke star alloys and 20mm lower sport suspension. Inside there's part leather upholstery, black headlining and perforated leather on the knob and steering wheel. Sitting as the range's flagship is the high-performance S4 Avant, which receives unique front and rear bumpers, 23mm lower suspension and distinctive pale grey elements to the grilles and other mouldings. While the interior is closely reminiscent of the S-Line models, there's also brushed aluminium trim appliques, a unique rev counter-dominated version of the virtual cockpit and a generally blacker ambience in the cabin. Optional Audi A4 Avant accessories. As was ever thus with premium cars, you can tailor the A4 Avant to your own specific requirements with a wide range of extra cost options. There are too many to explain in detail, but there are key items worthy of further consideration. A variety of different alloy wheels designs are available, ranging from 17 to 19 inches in diameter, although be aware larger ones affect fuel consumption and CO2 emissions. There are also 14 different paint colors to choose from, including Daytona Grey, specifically for the S-Line versions. Adaptive suspension isn't standard on the A4 Avant, but based on our experience with the saloon on standard springs, the optional system is a worthwhile investment. There are comfort and sport versions of this arrangement, the latter 20mm lower. There's also an adaptive cruise control option which adds to the sophistication of this technology by altering its set speed to reflect actual speed limits, as well as using information from the sat-nav system to automatically slow down or brake for tighter bends when you upgrade to the driver assistance pack. That information's also visible via the head-up display system, one of the clearest examples we've yet experienced, with a very neat integration on top of the dashboard. You can also have your standard analog instruments exchanged for the Audi virtual cockpit with an adaptive LCD display screen. Audi's phone box system allows wireless charging of smartphones and permits two mobiles to be connected via Bluetooth simultaneously, ideal for those who have both a work and personal phone. Headlamps can be further upgraded with matrix LED items that shut down portions of the high beam automatically to prevent oncoming drivers from being dazzled. Buyers of the 2.0 TDI versions who cover significant distances on a regular basis may benefit from the increased 54-litre capacity diesel tank, as well as the larger AdBlue fuel detergent reservoir. 5-star Euro NCAP crash test rating, wide array of driver assistance systems available, security of Quattro remains a significant draw. There's a vast range of Audi A4 Avant safety systems available, making it one of the most secure cars in this segment to be in if you're unfortunate enough to be involved in an accident, as evidenced by its 5-star rating when tested by the experts at Euro NCAP. One of the A4 Avant's most impressive safety features is the driver assistance package with adaptive cruise control. Not only does it maintain a set gap to the vehicle in front, the system also reacts to changes in speed limits, raising and lowering the set speed accordingly. Further, it uses sat-nav information to reduce speed, braking when necessary, for bends in the road, even when there's no vehicle in front to react to. We were particularly impressed with the clarity of the optional head-up display function, delivering pin-sharp graphics to be displayed on the windscreen directly in the driver's eye line. It's neatly integrated on top of the dashboard too, not looking as cumbersome as rival systems. Unsurprisingly, the remainder of the safety systems are shared with the Audi A4 saloon. Clever touches to aid practicality: 505 liters of boot space with rear seats in place. Rear seats don't fold completely flat. Ignore the modest 26mm increase in overall length because Audi A4 Avon practicality has improved significantly over its predecessor. Raise the powered tailgate and watch as the luggage cover slides up automatically, revealing a 505 liters of superbly trimmed load bay. That's a 15-liter improvement over the previous A4 Avon, beating the Mercedes-Benz C-Class estate by the same amount and the BMW 3 Series Touring by 10. Fold the split rear seats forwards, they don't lie completely flat for outright flexibility, and you'll unlock 1,510 liters of space. While that's a significant 80-liter improvement over the last A4 Avon, it's only 10 liters more than the BMW and exactly the same as the Mercedes. There's additional space for front and rear occupants, too, meaning 4 6-foot tall adults will be able to sit very comfortably, with ample head, leg and shoulder room.